On the 1st of November 2023, EFCC banned sting operations at night. I repeat, on the 1st of November 2023, the chairman of EFCC, Olukayode, banned sting operations at night. Now, fast track to January 2025. The same EFCC officials went to a compound at night by 3 a.m., scaled the fence, barged into the compound. The compound people thought that these were thieves and they raised alarm. Somebody in the compound had a pump action, a licensed pump action. For him to protect him and his family, he shot at the EFCC operatives. One of them died, one was injured. They were wearing mufti. They did not identify themselves as EFCC operatives. One of them that was shot dead has been buried. That is what is happening today. The EFCC chairman Olukayode banned these guys from sting operations at night. The report is there. On the 1st of November 2023, now 2025, in Anambra State, an Anambra man saw that people were scaling his fence. To be security conscious, he had to get a rifle that was licensed because of the insecurity in Anambra State. You should be security conscious. But government officials decided to come in like armed robbers into the compound of some people, looking at the way insecurity is prevailing in Anambra State. That tells a lot. Now, one person was shot. He called the police. One person was shot. The other person was injured. The police came in and arrested the man and took the man in custody. The man has connection. The bishop of the area, they got him lawyers. Now, this is what Nigerians have been discussing since morning. I like the fact that Nigerians are speaking with one voice, but some unscrupulous elements, Yoruba Ronu, made a statement, unfortunate statement, trying to put ethnic coloration to it, trying to say, okay, an Anambra man, in Anambra, the shots, because the person that was shot is from Sokoto. Sahara reporters reported it as Sokoto EFCC official. I think there's a way the Sahara reporters put it. I will get it. Trying to put ethnic coloration to it. Something that happens to every Nigerian. Look at the NSAS protest. Every Nigerian resonated with it, the NSAS protest, because it is all about police brutality. Police brutality is supposed to be everywhere. In the southern part of Nigeria, we experience police brutality to a fault. Police brutality. I don't know about the northern part. I've not been to the northern part because most of the reports that we get, most of the news that we get about police brutality is majorly in the southern part of Nigeria and some around the middle belt. We only hear soldiers are being killed, police are being killed by bandits most of the time in the north. We seldom hear police brutality. So people are putting ethnic coloration to what happened to the EFCC thing. See, one thing about bigots that they don't understand is that they think that they are hating on a particular tribe or a particular people. It is actually a disease. Bigotry is different from conservatism. These are two different things. Conservatism is different from bigotry. You actually think that you are denigrating a people. You actually think that you are hating on the people. No. For instance, now we have bigots in some part. Okay, in the southwest, some people are speaking against the Igbo people. They should go. They should go. They should go. They will go. They will go one day. So when they go, where would you be channeling all your bigotry to, all your hate to? You actually look for your neighbor. Okay, let's say you have Yoruba nation, the Igbo people go, you have Yoruba nation. The same bigots will be looking for their Yoruba people because it is a spirit of hatred. It is a disease. Bigotry is a disease. And it is looking for where it can express or find expression, express itself. The more reason we are saying that, see, when we talk about unity, Nigeria's unity, and some people say it's non-negotiable. No, the politicians that are planting evil seeds of bigotry, using it to win election, they don't know that they are shooting themselves in the foot. When we have people like this spread all around, whether they are in the north, because they are in the east, they are in the east southeast, they are in the south, they are in the southwest, they are in the northern part of Nigeria. With this kind of people, we can never move forward in any measure as a country, especially when they are given positions of power. Because I've seen bigots having positions of power in the country, especially in this current administration. We had them during the time of Buhari, and now we are having them now. Something that happens to almost everybody, police brutality, whether you are young, old, of any tribe, you are now attributing it, saying that it is because the guy is Hausa being killed in an Igbo land, and Igbo people are rejoicing. All the responses I've been seeing, both Igbo and Yoruba have been condemning that act. Nigerians came together as one, and they are condemning that act of the EFCC. How would an EFCC come into a house by 3 a.m. coming like an armed robber? See, we have said it, that the reason why I said this system will not work, Nigeria will not work, cannot work. If you have institutions behaving like this, you don't need the leadership. If the leadership that we have cannot put these institutions under scrutiny, if the leadership cannot strengthen the institutions, you cannot achieve anything. You need strong institutions to achieve. Even these your policies, our tax bill that we are implementing, is a wonderful idea. But if you don't have institutions that are up and doing, that are strengthening, if you don't have institutions that are working in Nigeria today, your tax bill will be merged in corruption. If you have corrupt institutions, you see, one reason why I said that this current administration cannot bring leadership to the people, governance to the people. They are always about how they are going to gain territories, how they are going to win this, for their personal and selfish interests. They are not for the interest of the masses. If I say this, I know what I'm saying. Okay, you have the tax bill now, you implement the tax bill, and you have the FIRS, the revenue, NHIS, whatever body that is responsible for collecting these taxes, and you have them immersed in corruption, you will not achieve your aim. You have corrupt people all around you that is stealing and lying to themselves and bringing their fellow brothers and sisters so that they can steal. Because in most organizations, if the head is a thief, he doesn't want to bring people that will spoil his show. They will bring their bed together. Since it's a national cake, and we are the ones collecting this tax, it is going to be enmeshed in corruption. Even on this national cake of a thing, people are forming occultic societies just to steal money. So if you have institutions that are not working, your policies are nothing. And it's so bad that the APC came into power on the shoulders of corrupt institutions. APC came into power because INEC is not up and doing, because the judiciary is not up and doing, because the police is not up and doing. So there's no how APC can rise from the ranks of corruption and bring good governance to the people. The only government that can bring dividends of democracy or good governance to the people is a government that ensures the rights of the citizen is given to them, ensures that there's justice, fairness, and equity, and there's morality in governance. This is the only government that can bring dividends of democracy or good governance to the people. But you see, looking at this particular scenario that is happening, the federal government should have intervened and make sure that they overhaul the EFCC. They make sure that the institution, the agency called the EFCC, is refurbished, is restructured. Bad elements, they make sure that these officers that are committing all these atrocities on the Nigerian people, on the people, should be brought to book. Brought to book. But what will they do? They will do what they are interested in. What brought them to power in the first place? They're not concerned about you, the masses, about your right as a citizen. They're not concerned about anything that has to do with you. In the Southwest, that's what they do. If you see police checkpoints, they are there just to extort. Look at what's happening in the Southeast. Different checkpoints of the police. They are there just to extort. See, people are even bribing their organs to be posted to certain regions and certain places because they find it as a place whereby they can extort and make money from Nigerian people. Instead of maintaining law and order, a policeman may join the police force not to maintain law and order, but to make money. So instead of the government of this regime strengthening the institutions to start working, let there be fairness, equity, justice, and the rights of the people is giving them. They are not interested in that. The EFCC thing will still repeat itself again. I started by saying 1st of November 2023, Olukayode, the chairman of EFCC, came out and said no more sting operations in the night because a video went viral of EFCC barging into people's compound like thieves, beating them up, taking their phones, oh my God. What happens to warrants? What happens? We have been complaining about these things a long time. We have had Inspector General of Police like 3, maybe during the answers. I think we have 2 or 3 Inspector General of Police. They have come and they don't know that their job is to sanitize the police, the EFCC, and other government agencies. But yet, what would they do? There's nothing they would do. At the end of the day, when they get old and maybe they get to 100 years and they want to die, they'll say a vote of thanks. This man, he lived a purposeful life. He lives a life. You start bringing all sorts of praises to people that refuse to fix the society. Now this man is in prison. If it were to be a poor man, only God knows what will happen. The EFCC, from my own perspective, is not looking at how they can redeem their image. They are mainly looking at how they can revenge. They are mainly looking at how they can pin something on that man or push narrative. Thank God for social media and thank God for Twitter, especially Twitter. If not, if it is those days that we had this traditional media all those years, they will have found a way to push a narrative. When the traditional media, they were the gatesmen. They call it gatekeeping in journalism. You know, a house and a gateman, it is the person that the gateman allows into the house that will have access to that house. If the gateman does not allow you into that house, you don't have access. It is the information that the gatekeepers then, the traditional media, then, information they allow to get into the people or get to the people is what people will get. But social media, the door is wide open. Information is just, all the information is, so it is the people that will decide what is the news, not this traditional media. If it were those days, my God, then you have known that these guys will have been pushing the narrative, and no matter what, they want to revenge. Look at what happened in Okwama community. There are many reports about what the soldiers did to the people and why they were there. It is an oil community, and the involvement of the soldiers in their report of how the Nigerian military gets involved in oil bunkering. If it is a confirmed report, that tells you a lot about what happened in Okwama community. Through the dispute between two communities, their clash, you came into the community, according to the report, you are siding one community. So nobody can tell us that our agencies are not corrupt. Instead of the government, your first priority is to make sure that you purge these agencies of corruption. Put people that have integrity. Instead, you put people that are a brother. So you put your brother here and there, whether they are doing what is right or not, for the fact that they are my people, they are people. And I've said it before that most of these people are interested in looting and extortion. That is one of their aims, to become a force man, is to just extort the people. Then somebody, some Yoruba Ronu rubbish. I'm not saying you should not Ronu. Ronu is the next thing that everybody should do now. In the southwest, you should Ronu. In the southeast, you should Ronu. in the south, you should run. Everybody should start renewing, because Nigeria cannot stay in this position for long. But you are Yoruba renewing, and you don't look at humanity before you now renew your renew. You came out and you are saying a lot of rubbish, making it an Igbo thing that they have killed in Igbo. When I look at the reactions under the Yoruba Renew page, and I saw so many people saying so many rubbish things, and what have you said now? It's because there's so much hatred in you, and the hatred will eventually be the thing that will consume you. Because if you don't see the Igbo person to push your hatred to now, you look for a Yoruba brother. If you don't see Yoruba, whether it's Ijebu, whether it's Egbao, whether it's Shaki, if you don't see those ones to renew, you look for your immediate family member to renew, because it is an evil that is planted in you. You are not looking at humanity. You are first a human being before you are Yoruba. If you don't consider your humanity first, then you are not worth being a Yoruba. Because it's human beings that are on this earth. At the end of the day, we all die. The same way we die, the same way we have eyes, nose, and we have spirit, we have soul and body. If you're a Christian and you are doing this Yoruba, remember, the Tower of Babel is when our languages, we had many languages, because they were trying to build a tower to heaven. They had one voice, one language. So the heavens had to split them into different languages. Remember, they were one. We came from one source. First, you are a human being. Then if you don't consider that you are a human being first, and you are running all this propaganda, bringing Igbo to the... You see, I don't want to start hitting the Southwesterners, because I've seen a lot of wonderful Southwesterners, Yoruba people. A lot of them are wonderful. They are just exceptional. I've seen a lot of them, but very few of these APC propagandists and APC Lagos boys are the ones pushing all this nonsense propaganda. They are not pushing it because they love the Yoruba people, in quote, because when you look at their page 3 years ago, they are not saying anything about anything Yoruba, but they just woke up one morning and start pushing all sort of rubbish. So EFCC is coming to somebody's house by 3 a.m. The person should just open his and be you don't know whether it's armed robber. If it's not armed robber, what if they disguised as armed robber? What if they disguise? Because some people will wear camo uniform, police uniform, and soldier uniform. They wear it and go and rob people. They use the uniform. It is illegal. They are not police, but they use the uniform. They may use the fact that you are wearing a police uniform, wearing an army uniform, and a camo. You go and rob people. So people should not be security conscious anywhere in the country, because it is the southeast, and it is in Anambra, and the person that was shot is from Sokoto. Make that make sense. Sometimes these people that call themselves Yoruba Ronu, not all of them. You go to church, and this is coming from your mouth. Not everything you play tribal politics. There's some things that are human. There's some things you play politics. You know that this is against your culture. So for you not to defend yourself is not part of Yoruba culture. Yoruba culture does not want you to be vigilant, Abi. Are you not the ones preaching that we need to protect our this thing, and you see the same thing somewhere else, and you are saying the person should not have shot or defended himself. According to the report, he got a licensed gun. So why did he get a licensed gun? Especially in that state, with the tense insecurity in that state, he should not have done anything. He should open his eyes and be watching. People should come and harm his wife. You have not seen reactions of other people. They are blaming the man for only aiming. They say 3 EFCC officials flew the fence into his compound, barged into his compound. They are blaming the man for only bringing down one person. They are asking him, why did you miss? You should have gotten down the 3 people. And I look at these handles. They are handles, not Igbo handles, Yoruba handles. And I knew that Nigerians know what they need to fight for. But because of what the politicians are planting in our hearts, we are all human beings, so forget all these things we are doing. We are preserving our culture. Yes, we will not allow anything planted by the politicians. You see, let me tell you the truth. The politicians are more united than you think. They are united to steal the nation's resources. It is when a certain group of politicians are not giving their share of the national cake, they now start pushing for Biafra or Duduwa or whatever. That is when you see them start pushing, when they are not getting their own share of the national cake. That's why over there, at the House of Rep and the Senate, they are all cooperating. They will come together and cooperate. They don't want anything to spoil their show. It is we Nigerians that are carrying the burden of bigotry and hatred. So the person is not, if the person is your brother, should the person open his chest and somebody barges into his house and almost take his life without him defending himself, especially when he has a rifle to defend him and his family, a licensed one. Nigerians are supporting that the EFCC is either it is scrapped or it is overhauled. But the government in power, we don't know what is their priority. What their priority is, what they will focus now. Yes. And I see their priority as, let's take over power. Let's take over territories. Let's kill the opposition. As we kill the opposition, let's fix ourselves as cabals of this country and let our Oga complete 8 years. Let's is it honor or reward our friends and those that supported us with juicy contracts and juicy positions. Let them come and let's eat the national cake. They are not interested in bringing leadership to the people. Anything you see a government like this do is to show themselves. They are showing off. I've said it, I'll repeat it myself. I'll continue repeating myself. It is all about show off. If they really wanted good for the people, people are afraid of the police and the army because the government has failed in bringing justice. The justice system has failed in being the last hope of the common man. It is you that have money that can get justice. That man, because he has influence, lawyers are there for him. He knew the bishop, he called the bishop. They are all running around for him. What if it is a poor man and somebody is somewhere running his mouth? You see, this is social media. I wish we had a physical contact. Then I'll tell you that you are nothing. No matter who you are, how old you are nothing. If there's bigotry in you and you don't bring in humanity first, you can be a conservative. It is not bad for you to be a conservative. Of course, I support you. You see, for your culture and language, your tradition not to go extinct, you need to preserve. Because look at what Kemi Badenoch said. If you're an immigrant and you're not willing to absorb into the culture of the British, don't come here. So everybody will protect their culture. So for the fact that that person is an immigrant, he accepts to integrate into your culture, then okay, if the person is in Yoruba land now and is an Igbo person, or Yoruba nation is an Igbo person, and somebody wants to do evil to him, and because the person is a Yoruba person, the Igbo person should not defend himself. Because you are pushing for Yoruba. A Yoruba person is doing evil to an Igbo man. The Igbo man should not defend himself against a Yoruba man. So the Yoruba, because you are doing Yoruba preservation, the Yoruba should steal from an Igbo, and God will help this set of people. God will help them.